Awesome. Okay. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to tonight's webinar. I know that it is a busy time of year. It's a busy time of the day when we're usually putting our kids to bed or other calls going on. So I appreciate you signing up and being here live or watching this as a recording. So welcome to the Attract Your Dream Client webinar. I'm your host, Julia Lefebvre. So before we kind of get started, if you're on here live with me, just post in the comments, tell me where you're watching from and what company you are with. So there should be the little chat box at the bottom. You can put that in there. And let's see where everybody is. I know we have people that signed up from Beachbody, Beauty Counter. We have some Young Living. We have Zyreps. So awesome. Courtney, Beachbody. And from Maine, Brittany's from Washington State with Beauty Counter. Awesome. Very cool. Yes. Okay. So just a reminder, tonight there is going to be a giveaway. So in order to enter tonight's giveaway, all you have to do, it's super simple. Take a screenshot from tonight at some point. It can be just a shot of me talking. It could be you watching this webinar, but I want you to post it to your Instagram stories and tag me in it. So just tag me at Julia Lefebvre, and that will be your entry into the giveaway. So I am going to be giving away a free bio review of your Instagram. And I'm going to tell you what's working, where you can make some improvements, so that you can really optimize and monetize off of your bio on Instagram, and really start attracting people from that bio, because that is your business card for your business. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more today, but that's going to be the giveaway. So just make sure you take a picture, post it to your Instagram stories, and tag me in it, and that will be your entry into the giveaway. And then I will announce that on my stories later this evening. Okay, so just to introduce myself, I know there's quite a few people that signed up that know me. They're a part of my Ambitious Boss community, which is a free community for network marketers and coaches. But some of the people on here are brand new and found me on Instagram and joined the webinar today. And so I'm going to just share a little bit about me. So I'm an online success coach. I help network marketers and online coaches attract their dream clients, grow their business without spammy sales, because there is a better way to do it. And we want to attract people instead of scaring them away, right? So I'm a mom of 3. My kids are 9, almost 8, and 3. I'm married to my hunky husband. We've been together for almost 14 years. And I'm a former teacher. So I've been in network marketing for 6 years now, over 6 years. So, and 2 years into my business, I actually left my teaching career to pursue my business full time. And just over a year ago, I noticed, well, over the 6 years, I've noticed that there was a need. There was a demand for something more, something different in network marketing. I had a lot of people coming to me, asking me how I was successful, how I was bringing in clients, how, they were seeing what I was doing, and that it was different, but they were, this was people from different companies, people from the same company I was with. And I knew there was a need for something better and different in the marketing space. And I wanted to be able to, I just saw it as something that I could provide, because it was something I knew how to do. It was something that I learned, and I'll talk about that in a bit. I haven't always been, I'm going to teach you what I did wrong at the beginning, and where I changed things to really grow, which made a big impact and helped me grow my business even more, and work smarter, not harder, because I just hustled at the beginning. So I just saw that there was this need for people to really understand the marketing side, understand how to build a business that is not just focused on the network marketing company that they're partnered with, and still be able to bring value and help people with the product and service that they have. So like I just said, I want to preface this call by saying I made all the marketing mistakes at the beginning. But it was through a lot of personal development, a lot of courses that I purchased, hiring mentors and coaches, that I was able to learn a better way. So I'm going to teach you guys that tonight. And I'm going to teach you a bunch of stuff, the systems that I use in order to attract clients to my business, nurture those clients, or potential clients, those leads, and turn them into clients. So this helped me grow my wellness business to over 6 figures in sales, as well as when I launched the coaching side of my business, my first launch, I was able to bring in 30 new clients in that first launch. So I'm going to share with you what we're going to talk about on tonight's call, and then we'll get right into it. So here's what I want you to take away from tonight's call. There's a lot that I'm going to be throwing at you, but it is gold. This is the stuff that you want and you need, that is going to help you grow your business and really start attracting your ideal client to your business. So we're going to talk about why you want to narrow down on your niche. We're going to talk about how to discover who your ideal client is. We're going to talk about standing out in network marketing or your coaching business, the do's and don'ts. We want to talk about, we're going to talk about your IG bio and attracting your client. We're going to talk about marketing and content. So there's a lot here, and there's a lot I'm going to throw at you, and I'm going to do my best. I tend to talk really, really quickly, but I'll do my best to kind of slow it down for you guys. But this is going to be it's simple, and it's going to be the stuff that's going to really help you grow. Okay, so just like in a house, when we build a house, we want to build the foundation first. It's the same thing with your business. You want to build the foundation first, and you want a strong foundation. If we have a rocky foundation where it's strong on one side, weak on the other, all over the place, right? If you're all over the place with who your niche is, it's not going to be a stable business. People aren't going to understand who you serve. They don't know what you offer. And so we want a stable foundation, and that is your niche. We want to know who we're serving in our business. So your niche is, and your brand is that foundation. So niche and brand are two different things, and we're going to talk a little bit about that, but we're going to start with niche here. And this is who you serve. So who do you help? What is their problem, and how do you solve it? That is the simplified version. And you know what? When I talk to so many of my clients, and even for myself years ago, that was the hardest part for me. I didn't want to niche down. I was like, but I just want to help everyone, right? And we know that the product or service that we have can help anyone. But you need to narrow down your niche. Your company's product might be for everyone, but you are not. I'm going to repeat that. Your company's product might be for everyone, but you are not. Okay, so you might have, so this is where the niche and branding comes in. You want to differentiate yourself from other reps in your company, other coaches in your company, other people that are selling the same thing you are. You want to stand out and look different. You have the same product that you're serving people with, but you're serving it in a different way. There's so many people that do what I do, but certain people are going to hear my message, and other people are going to be like, no, she just doesn't speak to me, right? I just don't connect with them. Maybe it's my personality, maybe it's the way I say it. But the thing is, you want to stand out and by being yourself, and that's where the branding comes in. But for niching down, you want to really figure out, who do you help? Is it women? Is it men? Is it families? Is it women over 40? Is it women in their 30s? Is it just moms? So be really clear. We want to create a help statement, and we're going to use those questions to create a help statement. Who do we help? I help women. I help network marketers, right? So I'm really clear in my help statement who I help. When people come to my bio and they see network marketers and they're not a network marketer, I can guarantee you they're walking away, right? They have no interest in following me. Maybe there's something they're going to see there that they're interested in because I do talk about other things, but they know that I'm not going to be offering something and serve them with something, a product that, or a service that is in their need if they're not a network marketer, right? I'm just being really clear. I'm telling people who I want to work with. So you want to be really clear to tell people, I want to work with you if you are this. So I help network marketers, or I help women, I help moms. What's the problem that they have? What are they struggling with? Is it gut health? Is it weight loss? Is it that they struggle to understand nutrition? Do they struggle with adult acne? What is it that they struggle with? Do they struggle with, wanting to clean up their products, right? They want products that are less toxic, but they just don't understand where to start. So really clarify and figure out who that person is. What is the problem that they want? And how do you solve it? How do you solve it? So I often talk about, maybe I help women heal their gut with plant-based nutrition. So I help women, or I help women over 40 heal their gut with plant-based nutrition. So there I'm really clear on who I help. So people that don't fit that will go, that's not for me, or I don't have problems with my gut. Sure, they can learn and get value from you, but you're going to really target who you want to work with. So get really clear on who that person is. I know you love your company and I know you believe in your product, or else you wouldn't be with this company. And I know you love it because you use it. But like I said before, your company's product might be right for everyone, but not everyone is right for you. So you are not. So you want to make sure that you are branding yourself as well. Because when you try to help everyone, you blend in with all the other reps or coaches in your company. You just look like everybody else. And so when people come to your page, they're like, oh, I've seen this before. It becomes white noise to people, and you don't want to be white noise. You want to stand out. So you don't want to try to talk to everyone. You want to talk to a very targeted person. And when you try to help everyone, you end up helping no one. So one thing you're going to learn about me is I like to use analogies, but sometimes they make sense to me, but I don't know if they make sense to everybody else, or they're always like off to left field there. But imagine you're fishing in the ocean and there's thousands of different types of fish in the ocean, but you're looking for this one specific fish, this rare fish, right? This is your niche, your target audience that you want to reach, but you've got thousands of other fish to pick from. So you're trying to help everybody, but you really only need to help that one person, right? It's going to take you forever to find them. You're going to have to message hundreds and hundreds of people. You have to talk to everybody, and it's exhausting to get that one person. Now imagine if you knew where that rare fish lived in the ocean. There was one specific spot that fish was, and there were no other fishes there, just that one rare fish, and there were tons of them. How much easier would it be to get new clients if you were speaking to that specific target, right? So much easier to catch that rare fish if that little section of the ocean is full of them and only them, right? So many people are afraid to narrow down their niche because they're afraid they're going to have less people to talk to. But in reality, you're going to have less people to talk to, but a higher success rate. So I want you to think of, and these are just random numbers. If you don't narrow your niche, maybe you have to talk to 1,000 people to get 10 clients, right? These are random numbers, okay? But imagine you have to talk to 1,000 people and you get 10 clients. Now, when you narrow down your niche, maybe you only have 500 people to talk to, but you get 10 clients. So see how your ratio is better by narrowing down your niche. So talk to less people, but you're going to work smarter, not harder. You don't have to try and go out and talk to so many people in order to bring in more clients to your business, because you're going to have a targeted group of people to talk to who really need your product, who struggle with the thing that you're sharing about, that you have the solution to. And it's just a matter of time before they become a client, because you are serving them and giving that specific person value. So by narrowing down your niche, you're narrowing down that window of people to talk to, but you also are increasing that success rate. Okay. So how do we know who our ideal client is? She is you, or he is you 5 minutes ago. So I want you to think about why you started with the company you're with, why you used the product. What was the problem you had before you started using the products? And what problem did it solve for you? This is going to help you simplify and answer those questions to come up with who your niche is. Who are you? Were you struggling? Were you frustrated that you didn't have any products that had clean ingredients in it, and you were frustrated about that, and you finally found a company that is their number one mission? Were you frustrated with your weight loss and you just couldn't lose the weight, and you finally found a company that had programs and products and the accountability that finally helped you see results? Or were you struggling financially and you found a side hustle that helped you make money? Or were you struggling in your job and you decided you wanted to quit it, but you needed something? Like, you have to figure out what it is that the problem you had way at the beginning, and how did you solve it? Whether you're 5 minutes into your business or 5 years into your business, you have solved a problem with the product and company that you're with. So figure that out. Get really clear on who you were, and that will tell you who your niche is. That'll help you answer those questions. So you overcame something, or you found a solution to a problem, and now you're sharing it. So this is really going to help you when it comes to creating your content, because a big part of what we do is connection, telling story. You want to be authentic, and the easiest way to do that is to just share exactly what you went through. I was struggling with adult acne. I was embarrassed all the time. I had to cake on the makeup, whatever it was, I don't know. And I finally found this product. It had safer ingredients in it, and it's cleared up my skin. And so sharing your piece of your story is where you're going to connect with people. So this is where you go, I felt like this, and then I did this, and I got these results. Okay, so I felt like this, I did this, I got these results. And you can get them too, right? So this is kind of the formula you can use when you're sharing that content. But it's that story, that power of connection with that story. You want to build that like, know, and trust factor. And you can only do that by being you and being authentic. And so this is why it's so important to learn that when you're creating that niche, that you're looking at what you were or who you were 5 minutes ago, because it's the easiest way for you to be able to share what your product. It's the easiest way for you to share the business opportunity, because it's what you know best. It's you, right? And it's the easiest way for you to make that connection with other people. So they're going to feel connected to your story because they're struggling with what you had struggled with. Okay, so we're going to talk now briefly about the do's and don'ts on social media. And again, do not feel offended if you're like, will I do that? Or don't feel bad if you're like, oh my gosh, I do all these things that she's listed out, because this is from experience. And these are things that I did when I first started. I was so excited. I just wanted to help every single person out there. And I did all of these like slimy, spammy, salesy things. And I just wanted to reach as many people as I could. But then I learned better, right? By, like I said at the beginning, working with mentors, taking courses, really learning about social media marketing. And, you know, I've worked with branding experts on niching down and all of that stuff, and really figuring out the problem I solve with my business. That really helped me get clear in my wellness business to grow it, but then also in my coaching business as well. So it made it, that transition, super smooth and easy. But like I said, I've made these mistakes, so don't feel bad if you're making them. This is coming from my experience. So, okay, so one, bio is all about you and not who you serve. So is your bio more like a dating app? Is it telling people, I like long walks on the beach, chocolate, and running through the forest? Like, I've seen these bios and they work. And oftentimes we do it because we see our uplines do it, and they're super successful and they have a really huge following, but they are the exception to the rule. I'm going to tell you, they are the exception to the rule, because they either started a long time ago when that worked, or they have done a really good job of branding themselves over a long period of time, that it doesn't, for them, it doesn't matter. But if you're just starting out, or if you're finding that you need to attract your clients better, you're not really getting the clients that you want or enough, then make these changes. So your bio needs to show people who you're serving. So that help statement I talked about, that's where you can put it. I help women heal their gut with plant-based nutrition, whatever it is, okay? I help network marketers. I help women over 40. I help families, whatever it is. That's where that help statement's gonna go. Who you serve, what problem you solve, and how you solve it. That is your help statement, and you can put that right in your bio. Okay. And I'll talk about, you know, all those things you're putting in your bio, where that can go later. Okay. Number 2, your username has your company name in it. Take that out. It shouldn't have your company name in it. So if you're a Beachbody rep or a Zaya rep, take Zaya Beachbody out of it, because right away when people see, that's the first thing people see usually, is your username, and they right away go network marketing, MLM, selling me something, and they're like, no, I want nothing to do with this, right? My mission is to help change that mindset that people have about multi-level marketing, because we all know how amazing it is of an opportunity and how it can change people's lives. But there's a lot of people that have a really negative, have had negative experiences with network marketing, whether it was a personal one where they were in a network marketing company, or they've just been spammed and had people be so salesy with them. And I'm on a mission to change that. So I want to teach a better way, because I know there's people that feel the same way I did and want to run their business in a better way. So take that company name out. Use your name, or something like creative is totally fine. It doesn't have to be, just your name. It can be, you know, I'm like trying to think of something and I'm going blank, but I'm going to share about my friend Susie later, but she, you know, she has the Run Lift Mom, and I'll talk about hers later. But, you know, Loren has Braided Brunette, right? So she doesn't have her name, but she has a branded name that she uses. But she doesn't have her company name in there, and she's with Beauty Counter. So she doesn't have Beauty Counter in there. So take that company name out. Don't push people away right from the beginning, because you could be scaring away your ideal client with having that in there. You want to make sure that your account is public. Now, if you have things on there that you don't want to share with people, like your kids are on there, but this is like an account that you use for your business and also for like family and friends, start a new account for your business. Or take those, if you want to keep that as your business account, take the things off that you're not comfortable with everybody seeing and create another private account. But by not having it public is like having the doors shut on your business. And you want them to be open. You want people to, you want to say, hey, I'm open for business. Like, hello, everybody, you can come and work with me. But if people can't access your account, then it's like having the doors shut. So make sure that your account is public. Okay, number 4, using many stock photos from your company on your feed. That's another don't. I know they spend money on creating these beautiful stock photos, but that's just another way where you're just going to be white noise everybody else. I see this from a lot of companies, some companies in particular, where all it is the company's photos. And I'm like, where's the person that's selling this? Like, I don't know who she is, or like, I don't know. Like, and I scroll through and I find one random photo of her, a selfie, and that's it. And I'm like, is this the person that's selling this? I'm not really sure, right? So I don't want to buy from a company. I want to buy from a person. People want to buy from people. They want to, so that like, know, and trust factor, they want to know who you are. They want to connect with you. And that's what's going to get them to buy. We want to serve, not sell people. And so that's what's going to help you grow your business. So take those stock photos out, create your own photos. It doesn't mean you have to hide product or hide the company that you work for. You're just not going to put it in people's face. And because that way it's not like your first focus is selling. Your first focus should be serving people and helping them and providing value. And then this is what I offer, right? The product is what you offer, but you are the thing that people are going to fall in love with first. So take those stock photos out. Number 4, sending spammy hey girl messages. Now, I did a whole training about this in my Ambitious Boss community and last week. And actually one of my girlfriends is in there and she messaged me and she's like, hey girl, ha ha ha. If you are friends with somebody, hey girl is fine. It's not the hey girl that is the problem. It's when you send that very first message to somebody that you haven't connected with and you say, hey girl, I have this, oh, you look like you're really into fitness. Well, I have this shake that is really amazing and I think it'll be great for you, right? It's those messages where you try to make the sale right in the first message. And you're like, how do you, like, okay, I'm into fitness, but I'm not what problem are you solving? Like, do you even know what my problem is? You're just assuming that I need it. So don't assume that people have or need what you have, right? You want to build that relationship. And it doesn't mean you have to talk for 3 months or 3 weeks. It could happen in one conversation. Many people that got invited onto this call, we had a lot of people got onto this call today, even though I've been promoting it for a couple of weeks, because we had a conversation today. Just, hey, like, connecting with people and asking them how their business is going and sharing with me, you know, what they're struggling with. And then I said, hey, I have something that can help you with that. It's free. Do you want to join? You know, you can be honest with me. Did that feel spammy to you? I wasn't trying to sell you anything. I wanted to be able to serve you and provide you with some value. And so, but it wasn't the very first message I sent. I just didn't send people like when they accepted a friend request or a followed me back, or I followed them. I didn't send them a message right away and say, hey, thanks for the follow. By the way, I'm running this free webinar tonight. You should join, right? I didn't just assume that they needed this. We had a conversation beforehand. And so, like I said, it can be quick and happen in one day, or it could take 3 weeks to build that. But don't make the sale or the assumption that they are in need of what you want, what you have in that first message. Number 6, asking for the sale before the service. So that kind of goes with it. So make sure you're bringing value to people. I didn't sell people on anything in that message. I served them by offering them value for a free call with lots of great value. Number 7, assuming you know what people want. So that these all kind of go together. Don't just assume that you know what people want. Ask lots of questions. Ask them what they're struggling with, what's working, what's not working, what's their goals, why do they have that goal? And by asking all these questions, you're also going to get answers from people that it's going to help you kind of go, okay, I have something that can help them and I can serve them and solve their problem with my product or whatever. But listen really carefully to the language they're using and listen really carefully to what they're saying to you, because their language is what you can use in your posts later. They're going to tell you, they're going to give you the content that you need for later for on your social media. Because if she's your ideal client and she's telling you in your DMs that she is struggling with adult acne and she is explaining how it's making her feel, I want you to use those words in your content. Take what she's saying and put it in your content. Have you ever felt this way? Have you ever, do you struggle with adult acne? Is it embarrassing? Like use the language and the words that she's using in your content when you talk about it. So really listen to what people are saying. And it's okay. Like, I know we really want to help people, but you might be talking to someone and realize, you know what? They're not for me, or I don't have the thing that can help them right now. Or maybe right now is just not the right time for them. And that's okay. You can follow up later. But don't just assume just because they fit some sort of, niche checklist that you've created that they are going to need your product. Because like I said before, a lot of people just assume I'm in wellness. And so they're like, oh, well, you need this shake, or you need this active wear, and maybe I do, but you didn't ask me if I needed it. You didn't figure out, you just saw a person on a picture and you said, she's into it and I'm going to sell her on it. And so you really want to make sure that you're building up that rapport with people and that like, know, and trust factor, and having conversations with people first. So it's that those things are going to scare people away, and they could be your ideal client. And you could read all of her posts and know, like, oh my gosh, this is like my dream client, but you're going to scare her off if you just send those messages. Those are when you're going to get the ghosting. So we don't want that to happen. Don't use your company website in your bio. So don't just link them to your sales page on like for Beautycounter or your Beachbody link, or your Zaya shopping page. Like, don't put that link there. Have something else that they can sign up to. It's really important that you want to build an email list. So, I've done trainings before on talking about building like freemiums and freebies for people. So maybe you have a link there, or maybe it's a link to something free that you offer. And I'll talk a little bit more about the bio and what you kind of want to see in there. And so I'll talk a little bit more about that website and what you can put in. Number 9, no niche at all. So we've talked about that before. Like, I don't know, sometimes I go to people's bios and I'm like, do they sell this? Do they just use the product? And I'll talk to people like, oh yeah, I've been, with this company for a year, but I haven't really had any clients. And I'm like, okay, I get that, right? It's very clear because I have no idea who they serve, or I don't know that they're actually selling it. It's more of it looks like a hobby versus a business that they run. Number 10, inconsistent with posting, stories, sharing. So, I'm not going to tell you have to post every single day, 365, right? If you miss a day, not a big deal, right? Being consistent will help with the algorithm. It's going to help you bring in new clients all the time. But if you miss a day here or there, that's totally fine. But just be consistent. It's the consistency of being inconsistent. Those that post, for a week at a time, and then the next week it's 2 days, and then they're posting 5 days the next week, and then they take the whole next week off, and then 2 days here, 3 days there. That inconsistency is what is going to really turn people off from your page. You're going to have a harder time attracting people to your page. And then number 11, no value piece. So you really want to make sure that you're providing value to people. Your content is valuable. Your stories are valuable, right? Even if you're not even talking about the product, right? You're just being you and sharing mom life or whatever, that if that's a big part of your branding, then that's going to be a way that you're going to share and talk to your ideal client as well. But if there's no value at all, if you're just like, I love this, I see that a lot. People are just so in love with the product, but they don't give any value. They just tell people it's so amazing, you need to have it. Well, why do I need to have it? Why? What is it going to do for me? So you want to tell people why they need to have this product. It's going to help you with, clear up that problem, or it's going to help you solve the problem you have. I know you're struggling with this. I did too. But then I found this and it helped me, and it can help you too, right? Give people value. But if there's no value, you're just talking about how you love something so much, why would somebody else want to buy it, right? So, okay, so let's talk about the bio for a second. So your bio is not a dating app. I've talked about this already tonight, but it's not a dating app. It is a business card. So take out the I like chocolate, playing with my kids. Those things are really important to you, and I get that. But that goes in your content, all right? So those, like, oftentimes I see people put like 3 things, and those 3 things are where your what brands you. So you're going to put that in your content. You're going to talk about mom life maybe in your content. You're going to talk about recipes maybe in your content. But your help statement is, I help women heal their gut with plant-based nutrition. So, but you're not going to tell people that you love food, you're a foodie, you love to drink wine, and I don't know, you love to travel, right? That's great, but how does that help? Is that a business? Like, are you going to serve me in travel? Or like, you need to tell people, because you run a business, tell people what you do. And so this is your spot for business card. There's not very much space there. So you want to make sure that you're really utilizing that space so that you can monetize off of that space. So your username. So again, make sure that your username is your name or something creative, but take that company name out. You want to have a spot for your help statement. So I help women heal their gut with plant-based nutrition. I help network marketers, whatever it is. I help women overcome adult acne using natural products. You figure out what that help statement is, but put it in there. You want to have a value piece. So maybe you want to tell people, sign up for my free 5-day, 5 days to ditch your toxic products or whatever, like that, something like that. Or, sign up for my free, I don't know, gut health recipes, or have something free to give people. Or maybe you have a community group. So that's what I offer. I offer a free community group where we do weekly trainings. I offer lots of value there. And so I tell people, or if I'm promoting something, like when I was promoting this webinar, I have that in my bio. Attract your dream client webinar. I have arrows and I point to a link, right? So I want people, so that's the next piece. You want your link in there. So you want to direct people in your bio. Tell people what you want them to do, where you want them to go. So you can change that over time. It doesn't have to stay stagnant in the same exact thing, right? When I'm promoting something different, I'm going to change that out, and I might direct them to my Linktree page, or maybe I'm going to put a direct link to sign up. For example, this time I had the link to my Linktree that has various links in it. But I could have just put the link right away to sign up for this webinar. But I did have above it, attract your dream client webinar, with arrows pointing down here, sign, like click on the blue link in my bio. But you want to have that value piece in there so people can go like, oh, she's got like a 5-day free clean eating group. I want to check that out or something, right? So you want to be able to direct people where to go from that link. Now, your 3 categories, or the things that you had in your bio, or this is where your branding comes in, okay? You want to have, so you have your niche, so that's who you serve, the problem you solve, and how you solve it, right? Now, there might be other people that have that similar niche to you, but how you're going to differentiate from those people is how you brand yourself. And that's you, your authentic self, right? Like I said at the beginning, there's other people that teach niche courses and marketing and all of that online, but I do it differently because I'm me. No one else is me. And so by being authentic, being myself, by looking at breaking down 3 different kind of categories. So I really talk about wellness. You're going to see that a lot on my page. You're going to talk about I'm going to talk a lot about holistic health and nutrition. I'm going to talk a lot about goal setting and all of that stuff, and habits. And but my bigger niche is that I help network marketers, right? So that's how I'm going to differentiate myself from other coaches out there that teach niche courses, right? Someone else is going to connect. We may teach the exact same things, but other people are going to connect with me because they're going to be attracted to the fact that I'm also into holistic nutrition or holistic health and cleaner products, and that I'm into wellness, and that's something that's really important to me, or that I talk mom life or habits and mindset stuff. So that's where the branding piece comes in. So I want you to think of 3 things. And this is where I wanted to talk about my friend Susie. And she's a Zaya rep, and you guys can go and check her out. She has a podcast as well called Run Lift Mom. And that's her handle on Instagram, at Run Lift Mom. At runlift.mom, I think is what it is actually is. But she's at Run Lift Mom podcast. And those are her 3 things, right? She's a Zaya rep, but it talks about running, she talks about lifting, and she talks about momming, right? She talks about those 3 things, and she talks about that on her podcast, how those are the 3 things you're going to see from her. So she talks about the Zaya clothing, she gives reviews on the clothing, but she's talking to runners. So whenever she gives a review, you're going to hear touch on running when she's talking about the items. Like, I love this one because here she's going to talk about the features, why she loves it for her runs, and all of that stuff. So she's really branded herself in a really specific way. So she's a Zaya rep, like all of the other Zaya reps out there. And she helps people, find active wear for their workouts and all of that stuff. But she's much different because she specifically branded herself. And she's also one of those advocates who wants to do network marketing differently, right? So, so go and check her out. Go and check her out because I want you to see how it's done differently and how you can really brand yourself. Excuse me. So once you figure out your niche, figure out your brand and what makes you unique. And this is the key. Okay, so we're going to get into marketing a little bit. Now, if you guys have any questions as we go through, I know this is like tons of great value for you guys, so it can be overwhelming, and I can see you guys are taking notes, but just if you have a question, post it in the comments below. I will save time at the end for comments as well, or questions. So if I don't get to it right away, like I'll definitely go through the questions at the end and make sure that I'm answering those. But we're going to talk about marketing and content for a second. So like I said, those three things, those three pieces that make your branding, that help you stand out, those are the pieces that you're going to talk about within your content. You're going to talk about, you're going to give value on, like Susie, on running and lifting and mom life. She's going to talk about all of those things in her content. And your help statement is always kind of what you're referring to and keeping in the back of your mind when you're creating that content. But those three categories are the things that you can talk about within. So it doesn't have to be up in your bio. You don't have to say that you're a mom of 3. You can show that in your content. If that's really important to your brand and connecting with other moms, then put that in your content. Save that space up above in your bio. Okay, so when you know your niche, it's going to be easier for you to attract more people to you, get more engagement, create content that speaks to your ideal client. So like I said, in those DMs, what are those conversations you're having? Take those words and put that into your content. But when you're really clear on the problem that they have, what are their likes? What are their dislikes? What are their quirks? What are the things that set their soul on fire, right? What gets them like excited? What gets you excited, right? Those are the things that are going to get your ideal client excited as well. So when you talk about you in those ways, the things that bother you, the things that you dislike, people are going to go like, oh yeah, I really don't like that either, right? Or that's really frustrating to me too. People are going to connect with you. They're going to build that like, no trust factor with you. The things that you really love and like, they're going to connect. You see, there's a lot of people that I see, they're like really into Disney, and that's a part of their branding, and they talk about Disney, but they're a Zaya rep, or they're a Beachbody coach, or they're with Beauty Counter or whatever, right? But that's a big part. And so they really attract other people that are like big into Disney. And so, you know, you want to put those pieces in there in your branding, but when you're yourself, you're going to attract more people. You're going to get more engagement. You're going to create the content around the things that, you know, your ideal client really loves and struggles with. It'll help your audience know who you're for, right? So when they read your content, they're going to say, this is for me, or this isn't for me, right? So, and it's okay to scare people away that aren't right for you, because there's nothing worse than trying to drag people along or drag along a conversation, or work with somebody who just isn't the right fit for you. It's so much easier to work with people who are the right fit. And it keeps you focused and gives you direction so that you can move forward with your marketing and your content, and that you're not all over the place trying to talk to anybody and everybody. So I don't want you to just post and pray, right? So part of marketing and creating content is not just putting a post out there that's really great and like crossing your fingers and really hoping that people are going to like it and comment on it. You have to be active in your business as well. You can't just put things out there and hope that it's going to bring people in. You have to go out and find your ideal client as well. You have to actively work to get people to come to you. So I'm going to talk a little bit about types of content that you can create, but you want to go out and find people. So this is where hashtags come in. You're going to want to use hashtags in your content. This is where you want to use hashtags that your ideal client is searching for. Okay, so think about that. The hashtags that you use are the hashtags that your ideal client is looking for. Now, when you're actively going out to find your ideal client, you want to use the little search button on your Instagram. You want to search hashtags, and you want to search the hashtags that your ideal client is using, okay? That will help you find your ideal client. So, you know, sometimes you don't want to search Beachbody coach if you're a Beachbody coach, because you're just going to find other Beachbody coaches, right? So people aren't using hashtag trying to find Beachbody coaches, right? Your ideal client, if they aren't using your product or service right now, they're not using, so okay, we're going to use Beachbody as an example. If you're a Beachbody coach and you're looking for people who are trying, you know, want fitness or nutrition or whatever, right? They're not going to use Beachbody coach or Beachbody as their hashtag within their content. They might use things like Mom Who Lifts or Mom Life or Mom of Three, or you know, they're going to be using a different hashtag. So what kind of hashtags is that ideal client using? Those are the ones you search. So I might search, for me, might be a little bit simpler. I might search, you know, Beachbody coach, or I might search 80-day obsession, or I might search, you know, Beautycounter rep or Zaya rep, or, you know, I can search those because it's going to be, network marketers often like to use those ones in their hashtags, right? So they're hashtagging the program that they're doing right now for fitness, or they're hashtagging that they're a rep, or they're hashtagging like better beauty. So I know, when I know what my ideal client is using, then it makes it easier for me to go and find them. So I can search those hashtags and I can go and look for my ideal client. So I'm actively engaging and looking for my ideal client, because they're not just going to come to me. I can have a great bio and I can have really great content, but the way social media works, it's not like just everybody comes to me because everything's perfect on my social media. I do have to go out and find them and engage. So search those hashtags that they're using and find them, and then interact with their social media, like their pictures, comment on them, watch their stories, follow them. And I don't do a follow for follow. Like if somebody doesn't follow me back, I don't go unfollow them. If that's what you want to do, that's your choice, but I'm not interested in doing that. I know some people teach that, but I'm following people for a reason. And so I don't want people to think that I'm only following them to get them to follow me back. So I will do a cleanup, you know, of the later on at some point, like if they're not engaging, or if it's an account that's gone dead and people haven't been using it in a long time, then I unfollow those people, because that's affecting my algorithm. But I don't just follow somebody and then a week later, if they haven't followed me back, go and unfollow them. So, but that's how you can actively engage in getting people to start following you and start seeing your content. Okay, so you want to make sure that with your content, you have captivating opener, you have a story, I felt this way, solution, and a call to action. So you want to make sure you have those 4 pieces in there. And it doesn't always have to be that way. You can have a post sometimes that is just a mom life post, you and your kids, and just like a 1 sentence of what you did that day or whatever, right? Like it doesn't have to always be something like, oh my goodness, like some captivating opener, I felt this way, solution, call to action. It doesn't have to, but you do usually want to have a call to action on every post. That doesn't mean a sale call to action. Once a week is great to have a sale call to action, but you want to have a call to action because you want them to engage. So tell your audience what you want them to do. Do you want them to like it? Do you want them to double tap? Do you want them to leave a comment? Do you want them to choose A or B? Do you want them to comment hell yeah to join your group? Tell people what you want them to do, because they'll read through your post and just go like, that's really great. Tell them to save it, right? Tell people what you want them to do. That's your call to action. So it doesn't always have to be a sign up for this, but give them a call to action on what you want them to do. But you want to create content within your, you know, if you're creating your marketing for the week and you're creating your posts, you want to make sure that you have story posts in there. So that's like, it could be your Throwback Thursday, your Transformation Tuesday, whatever post. But And it doesn't have to be Tuesday or Thursday, but you want to have at least twice a week where you're telling a piece of your story. That captivating opener, my story, the solution, and a call to action. And it could just be one to engage by commenting and saying something below. It doesn't have to be a call to action to sign up to join your group or sign up to buy a product. You want to have educational posts. So where you're saying, here's 3 tips on how to, or here's 5 steps to. So you want to have educational posts. Story, educational, expert. You want to stand out as the expert in your field. You are the expert because you have gone through and solved this problem for yourself. So you're the expert in it. A lot of people feel like they're not an expert, but you are, because you figured out a way to solve this problem. So you have to stand out as the expert. You have to show people that. You have to call them out. This is the post where you get to call people out on their BS, or you get to call them out on what they're not doing, but this is where you get to stand up and be the expert and the professional in this field or in this niche and tell people what you do in there. You want to be able to have posts where you're sharing transformations, those stories where you're sharing either a client success or your success in there as well. Okay, and then have some fun with your content. It doesn't always have to be a value piece that is educating people. Remember, value sometimes is just where you're entertaining people. You're giving them value by having fun and showing them who you are and what you did. Sometimes, usually on the weekends, that's where I just do those random posts and show people that we've gone out hiking or for a bike ride, and people get to see that side of me. And that's where people connect with me, just on that level that they're outdoorsy too. They like to go camping or hiking or biking and do those things. Or, oh, they can see that I have a family and 3 kids. And so you can put those pieces of content. Remember, it doesn't always have to be an educational post, because that gets redundant and boring and people are like, okay, moving on. I want someone who's more fun, or who's going to not just give me these like 3 tips on, but there's different ways to provide value. Okay, we're getting close to the end. I promise. We've been here for just about an hour, and I appreciate you guys, your time and all of that. So, so the next thing is, and this is a big one, you want to make sure. So I talked about how you want to actively go out. You want three things, 3 steps in your business. You want to bring in leads, you want to nurture those leads, and then you want to turn them into clients, right? And one of the big things I teach is that middle piece. And so I teach how to bring in those leads. And that's what we've talked about all tonight, is bringing those leads in. But how do we nurture them? And so what I do, how I nurture my leads: email, content, and through a private Facebook group. So we all nurture our leads through content, but we don't have the control over who we're nurturing or not. Sometimes people read our posts, but they don't engage with it. And so we don't have the control over turning them from nurture to client, right? So an email list is a really great way, because we can provide those value pieces, like a free 5-day something, or tips, my top 10 tips on how to, organize your closet, whatever it is. But if people sign up for it, they're on your email list, and then you can nurture them through your email list. But you want to nurture the people there. Or I get them to get into my free group, and I nurture people there. And so that's where I can continue to provide value, have conversations with people, and engage with them there. So you want to, that's a big one that I teach, is that nurture piece, and having a Facebook group for, and that system that I use to get people into that group, and the system I use to then take those nurtured leads and turn them into clients. So I call this my ABC method. And so I ask my leads, I bring them value, and then I have a call to action. So that's my ABC method when I nurture my leads. So I bring in leads by engaging with people, whether it's through email list or getting them into a freemium or my content. I bring them into my free group. I bring them value in there, and then I have a call to action. And this is what happens in DMs and having conversations, and then having them sign up for my programs and services and stuff. So, so nurturing is the biggest part that you want to build relationships, that like, know, and trust factor before you ask people to buy. Okay, so if you feel like I've brought any value to you whatsoever tonight, I want you to drop the number 5, a high 5 in the comments. If you feel you received some value from me tonight. I know it's been a long one. We've been on here for an hour, but we are ending things out here in just a moment. And if you have any questions at this point, Courtney or Brittany, just drop those questions in the comments below. Awesome, thanks, Courtney. So if you have questions, drop them in the comments below. We are gonna do a I wanna remind you that we are doing a giveaway, and for that free bio review. And so all you have to do is take a picture, post it to your Instagram stories, and then tag me in it. Awesome, thanks, Brittany. Okay, so yeah, so make sure that you take those pictures, post them to your Instagram stories. If you have questions, just post them, type them in there into the comments, and I'll get to those as well. And I wanted to let you guys know that I will be doing the giveaway for the free bio review. So in there, what I'll do is I'll go and look at your bio, and I'll show you, I'll tell you, I'll do a little video, a free little video, like a 3-minute video, 3 to 5 minutes, sharing your screen, looking at your bio, talking about what's working, where you can make some changes and some improvements, how you can really get clear on that help statement if you have one, or if you don't have one, how I can help you improve that so that you can start monetizing off of that bio. So that's what I'm going to be giving away. So you know, I do offer bio reviews, and I also offer a bundle of a bio and content review. So, so I offer where I will actually go through your bio and do that review, but also go through your content and take a look at that and see if you're, I'll look at, you know, what's working, where you need to make some improvements in your content, and where you can make some change, where I'll give you it'll be a longer video by doing the bundle, where I will give you a video of just walking you through exactly where you can make those improvements so that you can make those changes in there. So that's something I offer. Right now, I've dropped the price for you guys to over 50% off. So if that's something where you're like, I just want to make, you know, I know for me, it was always really helpful to have someone take a look at my content and say, like, I feel really good about it, but am I doing this right? You know, where can I make these changes and these little bit of tweaks that made the world of difference and in my business, and helped me really monetize and start attracting the right clients, get more engagement. So if you're interested, I'll put the link in the comments, and you can go and check it out. But like I said, I've dropped that to over 50% off, and it's a really valuable piece to help you kind of make those tweaks and changes so that you can start to attract more clients to your business and really get somebody's eyes on it, so that because sometimes you can go through these things and you make the changes and you're like, is this right? Is this not? So I want to help bring you some more value by offering you that at a much lower price. And it's only $47. That's it. Okay, so Courtney asked a question. Any suggestions on how to strike combos with someone you haven't spoken to yet? Do you send a little intro or free content? Obviously, I don't want to send my first message as an invite. Yeah, great question. Okay, so depends. It would, okay, so my question to you would be, is this just someone random, or are they someone who's following your stories, someone who's liked or commented on a post? Because usually like what I will do when I'm, maybe both scenarios. Okay. So, what I will do, okay, so someone I haven't spoken to yet. I don't message random people, like, unless, um, like I will message people when they start following me. If I've actively gone out to follow somebody, like I'm looking for my ideal client and I'm on that side of my working my business, I'm actively looking for somebody. So let's say I'm searching a hashtag and I find beauty counter reps or Beachbody coaches or someone in network marketing, and I'll go and like if I feel like they're my ideal client, I'll like and comment on their posts. Maybe go watch their stories, kind of learn a little bit about them and see like, okay, this person is somebody I'd like to work with and help grow their business. But when they follow me back, that's usually when I wait till they follow me back to send them a message. So if they don't follow me back, I don't send them anything. I know some people teach like follow them and send them a message, but I just don't feel comfortable doing that. So I wait till they follow me back. Then they've seen that I've engaged with their stuff. They've kind of had the opportunity to come and look at my stuff, and then I'll send them a message. So you guys may have received these messages from me. So I'll just say like, hey, so-and-so, and I just keep it really simple. Like, how's it going? Or like, you know, I see you're a Zaya rep. How long have you been with that company? You know, I might, you know, just say like, you have some really great content, or I may say, you know, I might point out a specific piece of content that I had seen from them, like a specific post, maybe if there's that I had read. I might say like, oh, I really loved your post today on where you shared your story of this, or so I make sure that I like know who I'm kind of talking to, even though they may not know me. I've already kind of gone and like liked and commented and followed them, right? So they're not, to me, they're not someone new, but I'm probably new to them. So I try to keep the message to them really simple, and just asking them about like how long they've been with their company for. So if you're with, you know, Beachbody, you just, you know, or you just might want to ask them something specific about a piece of content that they posted, or ask them about something maybe you posted about, maybe a question that you polled your audience on. Maybe just ask them that, you know, so they may not have seen that post, but then you can get some engagement that way in the comments or in your DMs. If they're commenting on my posts, I really just keep the conversation right there at first. So I don't take it to my DMs right away. So if I posted something, but it depends on the post too, because they might be commenting and interacting, and it's something where I was asking people like to offer them something, right? So I might take it to the DMs and say like, oh, it's been really great chatting with you. Even if they didn't say they wanted it, but they're interacting with the post, I might shoot them a message. But I always try to go to their bio first and see like if they're not following me yet, and they're interacting with my posts and commenting on it, I'll just go and check them out and say like, see like, oh, is this someone who's an ideal client? Are they in network marketing, or like, are they an online coach? What do they do? And then I could take it to the DMs there and just kind of, I would start with a similar message, just like, oh, hey, it's been great chatting with you. Whatever we talked about in the comments, I would just carry that over into the message. And then I would say like, oh, well, I went and checked out I would just be really open. I just went and checked out your bio, and like, you have some really great content. You know, I see that you're with Zaya. How long have you been working with them? So just be real. I know it's hard. I know scripts are really helpful, especially in the beginning, as we learn to kind of work through the conversation patterns with people, how to kind of build that relationship and have those conversations and get them to like share, and to get you to share about the product, and then to kind of make that offer with them. But you just want to really be real with people. And the best way is to just kind of connect it to what you're having a conversation with, either in the comments or what's going on over on their page. So something you may have seen there. Does that make sense? Okay. Brittany, you said you had the same question, but for someone who's commented on your posts or your stories. Yeah. And every once in a while, if I see somebody who's been watching my stories like days and days and days in a row, I might just send them a message saying, hey, I'm going to go and check out their bio, see who they are. But I might just send them a message saying like, hey, thanks for following along in my stories. I see you're with Zaya. How long have you been working with them? Like, I just keep it really simple, and then go from there. And then free content. Do I send them a little intro, free content? Yeah, you can and then you can send them free content through the conversation, like I did today. So I had conversations with people. We started talking about the company they're working with. Then we kind of started talking about some, how are things going? And a lot of people said, oh, things are going really well, but I'm struggling to bring in enough clients, or I'm struggling to really narrow down my niche. And I said, oh, well, hey, I actually have this free webinar that I'm running tonight that would really help you narrow down your niche. It's called Attract Your Dream Client. Would it be okay if I served you with that value? So you can give them that free value in there, but I wouldn't send them a free value piece in my first message either, because they might be like, what's this for? I liked something, unless it was a post about a free content and they were liking it and commenting on it, then you're going to go shoot them a DM and say, hey, thanks for commenting on that post. Here's the free value piece that I mentioned in that post or whatever, right? But I wouldn't let that be that very first message. Have that conversation and know that, okay, well, hey, I have this thing. This is why having those free value pieces, whether it's an IG story, or a post, or it's a PDF or a free group, is really great, because you can, if somebody shares with you a problem or a struggle they're having or something they're working towards, you can share that with them. So I love that about IG stories. I'll admit I haven't been the best at it right now with everything going on, at being consistent with my IG stories, but your IG stories, they're great because they're saved, but they're little value pieces, especially if you do those educational posts within your IGTV. Because if somebody says like, oh, I'm struggling with, something about nutrition, let's say, and you've done a post about an IGTV on nutrition, you can share that IGTV to your messages. Like, you can share it directly to your DMs and send it to them. And you could say oh, well, I did this IGTV on this. Here, I'll send it to you. And you can send it directly to them. Now you have a piece to follow up on. You can follow up with them in a couple of days and say, hey, did you get a chance to watch that video I shared with you? Or did you get a chance to sign up for that webinar that I'm doing? Or did you get a chance to join the group that I sent you? So that will give you it'll help that conversation continue when you do send them that free value piece. But have that conversation with them first, and then this is why it's really great to continue to give those really great content pieces, educational pieces, because you can use them, you can repurpose them, so that you're not always having to create new content or have those big conversations with people. Send them something. People really like free value, and they feel valued themselves, that you really care about them, and that you are there to serve them. When they say something to you and you're like, I have something for you here, and you just send it to them. There's no strings attached. This is, it's not a sale piece. It's like, here, take this. I want to share this with you. And then you can continue the conversation after that. I hope that makes sense. Does that help? Awesome. Did you have any other questions before we end tonight's training? Let's see. Okay, I think that's it then. Okay, well, I want to thank you guys both so much for being on here. And to those of you that are watching this as a replay, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video all the way through. I know how busy everyone's lives are. And so it means a lot to me for you guys to take that time and listen to me ramble on for an hour. But I'm grateful that you allowed me to share my heart and my value and my knowledge with you guys tonight. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. And I will have this recording hopefully sent out to you guys tomorrow. So that will be emailed out to you. So you'll have that for you. So you can feel free to share that with your teams or your business besties or whatever. So, so thank you so much for being here, and have an awesome night.